Hey, what's up everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I got another trade to announce. The New York Knicks have traded Archie Diacono. I don't know how to say it. Archie Diacono, Cam Reddish, and Svi Mikhailu. Not the easiest names to say. To the Portland Trail Blazers for Josh Hart. Josh Hart is reuniting with his brother Jalen Brunson. Not his blood brother, but his homeboy. And this is a situation where I'll tell you, I think it's a pretty good move for the Knicks. I mean, obviously you're giving up some nice upside players, but nothing that you were actually using in rotation. And Josh Hart has turned himself into a heck of a player in Portland. Since he had arrived there, he had somewhat of a breakout before hurting his knee rather, um, to end the season last year. He picked up right where he left off though after healing from that, and has had a pretty good year this year. I think the Knicks have gained a really serious piece now. I don't know what else they're going to do because they do have to kind of make some more moves if they want the roster to make sense. But that is a heck of a piece to add to your situation. Should be good for the locker room. I think it kind of keeps the vision that they had in place for attacking smaller offensive guards because they wanted to put Donovan Mitchell next to Jalen Brunson in their rotation. Of course, obviously Josh Hart is not Donovan Mitchell, but Josh Hart is definitely somebody who can attack and be a guard in that rotation that can kind of simulate maybe some of what it is that they want to do there. So I wonder what this means for the other guards in their team. Obviously, Quickly, Grimes, a lot of players that have been mentioned for trade rumors. The Knicks have a lot of picks as well, so I think it's just the beginning for the Knicks. I think they could do some very, very serious moves over the next couple of hours here. So Josh Hart being brought to the Knicks is a pretty big deal. And on the other side of things, you're looking at the Portland Trail Blazers picking up some players that can help them. Cam Reddish, love the upside piece, another small forward, which is something that the Portland Trail Blazers have gone without for a while. And now that they have more than several in place, you feel good about that position for their team going forward with Little and Grant, uh, and now himself there as well. Svi Mikhailu is a player, of course, the Laker fans, we know him. He was drafted with us and is a player with a lot of upside, but just hasn't been able to find a home as of yet. But I know what he can do. He can shoot the ball. He's a real weapon. He can get off the floor and has some real nice, quick handles. And so I've liked Svi Mikhailu for a long time, and I'm hopeful he can get a chance to get some playing time with the Portland Trailblazers. And the Archie Diacono player is not someone I know how to say his name, but I know he can play some. I remember hearing his name a lot with the Chicago Bulls a couple years back, and he did some real good things for their team, shooting the ball and getting steals and things of that nature. So that's a nice piece for them to add there to Portland, just overall boost what it is that they have, and kind of get Josh Hart into a space where he can be outside of the rotation, bring themselves more forward to kind of make their lineup a bit bigger, kind of gear up for what it is that they feel they're going to be seeing in the Western Conference as a contender. So I like the piece. They ended up giving up a protected first round pick as well, sending that to New York, I believe, and that is going to be a pick that turns into 4 picks if the protection doesn't trigger this upcoming year. Uh, all of the contracts that are going to be going to Portland are expiring. Cam Reddish, Archie Diacono, and Mikhailu. So that you can see them going off the books. And Josh Hart is on a 2-year deal. So that is the framework. I don't exactly remember what the number was on Josh Hart. I think it was 14. I don't remember. But yeah, it wouldn't be too much of a hit for the Knicks at all. Sending out those 3 guys and then upgrading to a real, starter, basically a piece that they can really use. So I like Josh Hart in New York. I think he's going to have a real nice tenure there. Um, it's just going to be about, are they going to move quickly? That's the question, because I don't know that you necessarily have the rotation minutes for everybody at this point. Not for everybody that they want to use. So I'm pretty certain the Knicks are not done. I'm pretty sure they're not done. They got some big contracts to move, and I'm certain they're probably having conversations to try to get them out of there. Problem is, when you got a bad contract like Fournier, you tend to need to add picks to it to move. I wonder if they'd be willing to do that in any event at all tomorrow when they got so much that they're trying to work on in other areas. I don't know if they'll be able to actually throw that in like we were able to throw in to get Russell Westbrook out of here and make the pick, situation make sense for their return. I don't know, but just brainstorming the Knicks, I'm pretty sure they're not done yet. So it's exciting. It's very exciting, man. And the Portland Trailblazers, you wonder if they're done shaving salary, because it seems to me that they got rid of salary there and they're trying to free up cap space. They wouldn't mind some of those guys coming off their books. I could see them re-signing Cam Reddish depending on how well he plays in their rotation. But I can also see a scenario where he doesn't make it in their rotation just the same, because they do got those forwards like Grant and Little and several others. Of course, Shaedon Sharpe. But you look at Cam Reddish and you think about Shaedon Sharpe, you're like, wow, the future is forming. Like, you could really see if those two players turn into what it is they were drafted to be, they could be your future right there. Like, those two players right there, if they reach their highest potential, you got to pay them both $100 million. So that is very exciting when you consider their team. And then Anthony Simon's already on board for 4 years. You consider he signed for $100 million and then had the season he had this year. He wasn't talked about as a all-star snub, but let me tell you, he was snubbed. Anthony Simon deserves to be an all-star. Just nobody's talking about it. But there's some things to think about, man. Zion's out through the all-star break, so he's not going to play in that game. KD, I don't think is. I think he said he wants to play in that game. We'll see. Steph Curry, iffy. So we're gonna see some people, man, get replaced. The inevitable injury right before the All-Star game has hit. So we're gonna hear those reserves being announced. I'm pretty sure very soon. So I wonder who's on to get in there, man. I haven't really even done any thinking, but we know who the main guys who got snubbed were. De'Aaron Fox was one of the main names that I'd expect would get in there. Anthony Davis is another name I'd expect might get some nods. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't want to make this video drag out anymore. I think there was something else I wanted to say in regards to the NBA. I just couldn't remember what it was. But this is a great time to be watching this league, because when the trade deadline comes around, it is fun, man. Just like the playoffs, just like the off season. When free agency opens up, those are times when this league is really on fire. So yeah, we're gonna definitely piggyback and give you all the information we can in regards to these trades. And that's pretty much what I got, man. Josh Hart to the Knicks, BDL 44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.